What you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
This podcast is sponsored by Jackson Creative, a custom communication agency located in downtown Hickory, specializing in online content creation. To learn more, visit thejacksoncreative.com. Jackson Creative, we tell your story.
We'll try not to too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we are.
Agree to disagree.
Okay,
moving on.
Well, the makeup bottle. It's like a cracked out T-bird, some grease.
Yeah, I can see that.
She's got that black hair. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to ChickChat. We are so glad to have you here. Hopefully you are cozied up in your house, enjoying your quarantine. Not sure if you're listening from a state that is slowly reopening right now, but we're glad you're listening nonetheless. Hey, Jeanette, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So you are still holed up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, correct?
I am. I'm still surviving the children, the extra coworkers.
Yes. Your staff.
Everyone's still getting along at this point.
You're managing HR properly with your employees?
You know, my skills at, leadership these days, I've taken on the whole do whatever you want, just leave me alone approach. It works.
Yeah. Are you homeschooling?
That seems to work for me.
You guys are schooling, but you only have one child in school age.
I do. So I would call it home tutoring.
Yes.
I mean, she's middle school. She really doesn't require as much, how do I get onto this and what does this mean? And can you teach me how to do math? It's more of, she's still getting instruction. So if she gets stuck, she'll come to me and be like, hey, can you just help me figure this out? And then I tell her and she's like, okay, I don't want you to help me anymore.
Right.
Fine by me.
I'm in the same boat. I have a middle schooler, but I do have a third grader as well. My middle schooler is very self-sufficient, just doing her thing with school, really just wants to tell me that she did it. And I kind of just take her word for it. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm not doing my part, but really it's just, did you turn it in? Okay, good.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm on the honor system as well. Did you do it? Cool. I have yet to be like, let me see.
Same here. And my third grader.
My whole philosophy is if something's missing, the teacher will let me know.
And you know what? I actually emailed my third grader's teacher directly and said, so is there going to come a time when you tell us if we're not doing stuff correctly, or are you just kind of putting a check mark if you participate, And he said, I'll give you a heads up if it becomes an issue. So I'm like, hey,
fair enough.
That sounds fantastic. So he's been great. And my third grader luckily has my middle schooler to help her out. So
that's good.
Yeah.
That way she can play teacher and be mean and she doesn't really care, move on, and it's not you're the worst mommy, and they don't care.
That's right. We kind of with my husband being home and working from home now, and me working from home, and then the kids, quote unquote working from home. We wake up in the morning, we all just kind of retreat to our corners, if you will, of the house. And it's like we all kind of rally up mid-afternoon. So when work day's kind of done, and then we all hang out and do stuff. But really, we're all just kind of fending for ourselves during the day. And, I haven't gotten any notices that my kids are not doing anything. So I'm good. They're happy. They're healthy. They play outside and they are apparently doing schoolwork. So, I mean, what else can I ask for?
Yeah, as long as she passes to the next grade, I'm good.
Hey, I dare you to not pass my kid during this situation.
Tell me she didn't pass homeschool. Tell me she did not pass homeschool.
That's right.
You had her the first 3 quarters. She was mine the last one. You're the one who didn't do your job. My little quarter of the year isn't going to help.
Absolutely. And, just, yeah, go ahead and try and tell me that there's like a bad grade associated with this. Like, and I will be changing
You
school
know,
districts,
and I think my opinion is this should all be pass fail at this point. Don't don't give A's, B's, C's. Just say pass or fail.
Well,
Those classes you take in college that are just pass fail, like bowling. That's what I equate this last quarter with.
which are like
I either passed or I
the
didn't.
best classes, right? So, yeah, our school system has pretty much said it's, you either meet standards or you don't meet standards. And of course, then
Yeah.
all these parents started being like, well, what are the standards? And the teachers are like,
There are standards.
yeah, the teachers are like, when we have a Zoom call, just pop in and at least let us know like you're paying attention. And that's about it. They can't formally
Yeah.
grade this situation because everybody's doing it a different way. Like,
Well,
it's
and
just
you honestly don't
inevitable.
know that the teachers are on the honor system as well, right? You honestly don't know how much help the kid's being given.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's that situation too.
And, I'll give it to the teachers. Obviously, this is a crappy time for them too. Like, this is
Oh
all
yeah.
new for them too. And so I don't put super high expectations on the teachers for this, and I wouldn't blame them
Right.
for any of that. So therefore, I think they aren't obviously putting the highest expectations on the kids either, which is fine. Um, if if this was something that we've been doing for years, off and on for years, then yeah, this could be a little more ironed out. But really, the teachers have been super honest with us and saying, "Hey, look, just do your best," because
Yeah.
that's what they're doing too. They're just doing their best to get by on this. So shout out to the
Yeah.
teachers because
My 2 favorite
I don't
memes going
envy them.
around now, among my Facebook friends are the first one is, "Does anyone know when the teacher class list comes out for next year and who my kid will have for as a teacher? I hope it's not me again." And then the second one is, "Does anybody have the phone number to who I call to get a substitute teacher?"
That's right. That's right. It's just, everybody's in a new situation. We talked about this on the last episode. The benefit of this, in my mind, and I hate to call it a benefit, but like the positive outlook on this is that we're all in this together. Everybody's
Yeah.
going through stuff that is not normal to them, and so I mean, stay at home moms have it different than they did before. Working moms, working dads,
Yeah.
everybody, it's all different. So, shout out to everybody that's dealing with this and just doing the best they can, you know? Um,
Yeah, and, I've already decided that the teachers at this point next year, fingers crossed we're open, to start school in the fall, they can put anything they want on that list and they'll get it plus a spare. You can have
absolutely.
whatever you want. I'll start if you want me to order pencils from Sweden that you like because
I'm
they
gonna
write
start
prettier, cool.
I'm starting to
I'll
shop
do it.
now. Yeah, like how they tell you like every time whenever you're pregnant, they tell you anytime you go to the grocery store over 9 months, grab a pack of diapers. And that way you're
Yeah.
not buying like a whole bunch. Like I'm just gonna start buying school supplies now
Right.
and put
I'm
it
gonna
in a
grab a
little
pack of
closet.
pencils every time I go.
That's right.
Loose leaf paper, you got it.
And whenever we go back in the fall, I'm gonna make it rain up in that closet.
That's right. Tell your teacher, boom, you can have this.
I
I'm
love
gonna
that.
send in a U-Haul. Like, can you have somebody meet me out front to unpack the U-Haul for you?
I
Because it's
know.
quite extensive.
I love that video that came out like a year ago or whatever of that lady that's walking through Target and she's just like,
Yeah.
because she'd had her kids home during the holidays or something, or summer break, I guess. And she's like, you need a carpet? I'll buy you a carpet. Like you need a vacuum cleaner? I'm going to get you a vacuum cleaner. So I'm all on board. Yeah.
Oh, teachers' gifts next year, when you give your teachers gifts on Teacher Appreciation Week or for
Like a mug
Christmas or
and a
end of the
gift
year,
card. Yeah.
they are about to clean up.
I'm going straight cash.
Right. I had this trip. I got some miles on my credit card for a plane ticket. Where you want to go? You and your husband just tell me where you want to go. I'll book the tickets. They're yours. Would you like to take my kids with you?
Hey, and you don't have a husband? Fine. Let's get you on a dating app. I'll find
Fine.
you somebody. I will find you
Go
a
by
fire.
yourself, take your mom, your dad, your sister, whoever, take your dog. I don't care. Buy your dog a ticket. I don't care.
Oh, it's going to be grand. It's going to be glorious.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just racking up card miles for the teachers next year.
Totally. Totally.
We can't.
I think we
Yeah,
should start a movement.
we
Everybody
should.
save up your miles for your teachers.
Your teachers, whatever they want. Want a new computer? I can get that for you.
Teacher miles.
Don't worry, I got miles. I got miles. You can have it. What kind you want?
Well,
Matter of fact, you just go online. You tell me where it is. I'll log in as you. Pay
that's
for
right.
it. Just do it.
I'll create you an account and we'll just go from there.
Right.
You just hop on the plane and you'll love where you go.
That's right.
So we talked last episode about how being at home, we're obviously cooking more, we're eating more, we're having to adjust our abilities in the kitchen. I know my husband's been grilling out more, way more than we did before, and all that's great. But I do have a serious question for you because I don't know your habits well enough. But are you an everyday shower person?
I am, especially during the week, because I am more productive if I get up first thing in the morning, take a shower. I feel like it just helps me at work.
Correct.
Like I'm awake, I've got clean clothes on, and now we sometimes do more than we have before. I wouldn't say it's a lot, but more than we have before. We'll do virtual calls or virtual meetings just depending on how many people are on the call or
Sure.
who the call's with. So I'm like, I've got to at least do my hair. I'm tired. I'm sure they're tired of seeing me in this hat or in this bun.
Right.
But I have actually been getting up. Before, my daughter had to be on the bus so early that I would get up, get her ready, um, get her on the bus, come around, do a couple things around the house before my 1 year old woke up. Then, get him ready, get him off to school. Then I'd come home once everybody was all gone out of the house. My husband was at work, and then I'd take my shower.
Mm.
Um, or either right before a meeting or in between my meeting schedules. But I really feel like I need that motivation now because if I don't do it first thing in the morning with the kids around the house, I'll never get it done.
Right. Absolutely. I am in the same boat. I am a shower every day. And in fact, I need it to I don't need it, I guess, but like I like having it done before I even start doing other
Yeah.
stuff. Um, I was so much that during the school year, the face to face school year, my kids too, would have to be up early and ready. And I tried to get up before they woke up and go ahead and take a shower so that when they go off to school, I can start my day right away. Excuse me, right away. And I just need that wake up a little bit. And
Yeah.
I'm like you, I feel more productive if I do it. And during quarantine time, I have still been doing that. And luckily, my children have kind of stuck to their normal sleep schedule and wake up time and everything because they really prefer to get up first thing and do their schoolwork for that day and
Mhm.
knock it out in the morning. And so they get up, do their breakfast, and then they knock out school stuff. So I've tried to keep on my same schedule of getting up super early, go ahead and get my shower. I'm ready. I'm doing the day like I normally do. But so this, I was curious about this because you see all the memes online, you see all these videos and stuff like that about people in quarantine that are just like, hey, I actually put on pants today, or
Yeah.
look at me not wearing a baseball hat, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking, and I was like, I looked up online some stuff about, keeping yourself up during quarantine. And I found this article that I wanted to mention really quick. The title of the article was, how often do you really have to shower during lockdown? So I was kind of shocked by this, but according to the American Academy of Dermatology, it's actually recommended to shower as little as twice a week. because it allows your immune system to develop outside of a sterile environment. And I'm sorry, that just ain't happening.
Okay. Right. I'm like,
No,
even before quarantine, that wasn't gonna happen.
no. And I know people that like maybe take a shower and then they don't wash their hair because like
Right. Yeah.
their hair doesn't need it necessarily because of it maybe dries out their hair or whatever, right? So or they have
Yeah.
that type of texture that maybe just doesn't can't handle a shower every day. And I get that,
Right.
but they still were taking showers, you know. They just don't wash their hair. Um so anyway, so I mean I was just kind of surprised that the Academy of Dermatology is telling us you don't have to take it up to like twice a week. And then saying it's for your immune system. Like now I feel like ashamed for taking a shower every day. But really it's saying that a lot of people obviously do shower daily, whether it's for personal reasons or whether they just are super active. You know, maybe they're working out every day and they're
Yeah.
sweaty. Maybe they are um, maybe their skin needs it. So, you know, there's little things, but I just kind of wanted to pass that along. Hey, Moose, our producer, Moose, are you there?
Hey guys,
Hey, how often do you shower?
every day, no question,
No question.
no question.
I mean, even during quarantine.
My showers have increased since quarantine.
Just because you're bored, right? It's like, what do I do now?
It
Yeah.
is,
Are
it
you
is,
working in the wood shop?
it's increased yard work. It's like I
Ah,
go
there you go.
outside and
Yeah.
like in for my lunch break instead of like just coming home and eating. Like my lunch break consists of weeding the garden and mowing the grass and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. So yeah, like at least once a day, sometimes twice.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I mean, we're all in the same boat here, but just so you know, Moose, you don't have to. And it's socially acceptable to not have to take a shower up to like twice a week.
I would like for you to come to my house and tell my wife that.
No thanks. I'm not doing it even 6 feet away.
No interference in domestic disturbances from the ChickChat hosts.
You got it. You got it. All right, thanks, buddy. All right. So that's just a little pro tip for anyone out there. We're not going to shame you for not taking showers during quarantine because from what we understand, you're building up your immune system. So yay for you. Good job during a
Now,
pandemic.
I probably I take a shower every day, but I probably do take less now than I did pre-quarantine
Yeah.
because I was always running around with my daughter
Yeah.
for soccer. And so, sitting outside for hours, you take a shower in the morning, and then, depending on how long you've been outside and what the day is like, if it's raining or if it's
True.
hot, I'm always taking another shower, at least two a day at that point. Or she's at practice and I'm
Yeah.
walking and I'm exercising while she's practicing. So I've slowed down the showers, but they're definitely every day. I mean,
Right.
we've
Right.
gone to once a day versus twice a day, but they're still happening.
Yeah.
And being quarantined, I'm sure my family also appreciates that.
Exactly. That was going to be my next thing is like, I think it's just a courtesy thing when you're locked in, you know, four walls essentially. So
Right. Right.
let's all be
When I'm here
considerate.
8 hours a day by myself and just have myself to worry about, it's one thing. When I'm around three other people, like, I would like for us all to have baths, please. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to move on about something I'm probably more excited about than I should be. I'm not really sure why I'm so fascinated by this, but um, a recent announcement came out that on May 19th, mark your calendar, May 19th on ABC, there's going to be a 2-hour event called The Story of Soaps. And I believe
Like soap operas?
like soap operas. Okay.
Okay.
It's like the history of soaps. They say that it's going to be detailing the effect that soap opera has had on television. Like, you know, they're going to have all these producers and directors and stuff of famous ones, as well as actors, people who got their start on soap operas, people that are, I think Andy Cohen's going to be the host, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's people like some of the people that you don't even realize are famous because of soap operas are going to be on there talking about how they got their starts. Did you ever watch any soap operas?
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
used to watch all of the ABC soap operas, so All My Children, One Life to Live, General Hospital.
Okay. So, is this something that you did when you were older, or did you grow up in a household like where your mom watched them, or what?
Both. I'd say I probably really stopped watching soap operas probably after my daughter was born sometime. I don't know exactly when, but it was sometime after I had her. So it's been several years. Um,
But that's recent,
like
considering.
every now and then I'll catch General Hospital because there's still a couple of characters on there that I know,
Yes.
but I'm completely lost if I try to do anything now.
Sure, sure. So I grew up with my mom watching Days of Our Lives. And then when I was in college, um, I guess so late 90s, there was somebody on my sorority hall that watched General Hospital, and I would catch bits of it, and then I get sucked into it and know a little bit of the storyline. And then I remember telling my mom one time, I was like, "Oh my gosh, like we're totally watching a soap opera." When I was in college, I'm like, "We're watching a soap opera," and I said, I knew a little bit about Days of Our Lives because I watched whenever you were younger. I would catch bits of it, but General Hospital is really good. And then my mom starts telling me the storylines that she knew from General Hospital because of the media and the publicity surrounding them. Like she was super familiar with like Luke and Laura and the wedding and everything that was like, supposedly the big deal of the century or whatever. Bo and Hope from Days of Our Lives, and it's funny to me that they're still around. I guess I mean I know people that watch them literally every day. My husband calls them stories, so it's like any show that has this ongoing plot line and stuff. Because from what I understand, they're kind of considering things like Grey's Anatomy as a soap opera. Do you consider that a soap opera?
Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah.
Um,
Or any of those shows like that.
I mean, I guess I only wouldn't only because they're not daily shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like I consider soap operas, although they do have some continuing stories, I guess they could be. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could because like Dynasty back in the day, they called those nighttime soaps, right?
Correct.
So I guess Grey's Anatomy could fall into the same category.
What about
Yeah, sure, why
something
not?
like the original 90210?
Yeah, I guess the only difference I see in things like Dallas and Dynasty that were considered nighttime soaps and a Grey's Anatomy like that, those type of shows, is to make up a word, over the topness. Like
Mm-hmm.
Dynasty and Dallas just had some just interesting characters and over the top type of themes to their shows, the plots to their shows, the endings to their shows. It was always really over the top. Whereas even, Grey's Anatomy being set in a hospital, which I guess is similar to General Hospital. I don't know if I'm sure other soaps are set there too, but
Sure,
that's the one I
sure.
watched. Is that, General Hospital leaves the hospital a lot and goes to people's houses, and
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy goes to there a couple times,
Yeah.
but they're not really over the top things. They really focus on these are things happening in the world. These are real illnesses. I mean, they're not real doctors, but these are real medical situations
Yeah.
that people deal with.
Right. Well, I mean, think about like Grey's Anatomy in the sense that they even joke about it a little bit, like especially whenever Christina Yang was still on Grey's Anatomy. She was always saying things like, guys, we can't do this because we've survived a bombing, a plane crash, a shooter, a this, a that, all
Yeah.
these different things that like had happened to them within
Yeah.
these like their years of residency. So I mean some of that becomes a little elevated, but this special, first of all, I love anything that Andy Cohen does, but it says that something that I think kind of I thought was neat was that The description says the story of soaps will offer viewers a deep dive into the rich cultural history of soap opera and how many aspects of modern television dramas can be traced back to the quote storytelling structures that have been employed for over three decades. Additionally, the special examines how female creators became a dominant force in this genre after making the original transition over from radio and television. So they've put together a lot of people that are going to be on the show as guests, like Carol Burnett, Vivica A. Fox, Denise Richards, John Stamos, Chandra Wilson, Susan Lucci, and a whole lot more. So I'm excited. Mark your
Yeah.
calendars. I think it's going to be a good one because there's always drama surrounding it. And it's something I feel like everybody has a connection to, whether they really want to admit it or not.
I wonder if they'll go into why so many soap operas have been canceled or just stopped airing. Because there's really only a handful on TV. Like General Hospital's still on.
Yeah.
Um, and I think there's another one, like maybe Young. I don't know if it's Young and the Rest. One that I don't watch, but I know that it's on because as I'm here and I flip through channels, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that's a soap
sure.
opera. Cool. Um,
Well, daytime talk shows have become a bigger thing now.
yeah.
And then of course the evening shows have turned more to maybe a soapy feel, if you will. Maybe they're not exactly the same, but I mean somebody like a Chandra
Yeah.
Wilson, right? Or um um even Denise Richards, John Stamos, they all went on to other shows and stuff. So maybe it's the stars, maybe it's the production cost, maybe it's the timeliness of, maybe there's not the demand for an daily soap, a daily story. um
Yeah.
Nowadays people are just recording everything anyway, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I wonder what they'll do with the ones that are still airing, how they'll do that. Like, will they just do a few people on set at a time and continue to air them, or will
Right.
they show reruns, which would be weird? I know they do that every now and then, show reruns of soaps, but that's usually during like Christmas or
Right.
holidays. It's not something that you're actually shocked if you see a full week of reruns
Right.
because it's a special time of year. Like, what are they gonna do?
Right. I mean, we talked about that last episode. It was, what it's the same as the entertainment industry, right? I mean, with soap operas right now during this, it's not like they can just pause it like they can starting a new season of Grey's Anatomy or a new season of a sitcom. It's they're an ongoing thing. And so I don't know. Be interesting. So I'm loving all these little specials that are coming out during our quarantines. So this is just one more, the story of soaps. Again, it's going to be on May 19th on ABC. Um, we watched like the Disney sing along the other night. I've
Yeah.
seen, of course, we've watched the Michael Jordan, The Last Dance. Have you watched it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We watched that.
Yeah.
Of course, we watched that.
That's awesome. My husband, is happy that that is coming out, something to do with sports other than the 1986 curling championships that are on replay on ESPN right now. So, anyway, I'm loving the specials. That's a positive that's coming out of this right now, are these little thrown together specials. Moving on, speaking of specials and things that people are doing a little out of the ordinary. Have you watched the SGN stuff with John Krasinski? Some Good
I have
News?
not. I've heard
Yeah.
about it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my gosh. So they're quick, like little 10-15 minute episodes, whatever. John Krasinski, it's internet based, it's in his house, and he's reporting the news, but it's all good news. And it's hilarious, first of all. And it's just, I mean, I've been in tears probably every time, out of like happy tears. Um, and then in his most recent one, he threw a prom for like the world.
Okay.
And he broadcast it, and he had all these famous people pop in through like Zoom, essentially. And so you could tune in like through a link online to this live prom. And then and they had like Billie Eilish and the Jonas Brothers and Lin-Manuel Miranda and all these people come on and do performances for the prom, Chance the Rapper and some other people. And then they had a DJ. And so then he took clips of it and, of course, reported on it during SGN. But man, he is hilarious. He's handsome, and it is just fun to watch.
And you said it's on Instagram, or where is it?
Facebook, yeah, you can just go
Face
like
Oh,
on
it's
his,
on Facebook.
yeah, you can just go
So
on.
just follow him and I can watch it?
Well, you can look. He's got his own page now for
Okay.
SGN, Some Good News, and I mean, it started out that he just did it to kind of shine a light on nice things, that are happening during sort of a whole bunch of bad. And so he's interviewed people. He zooms to like certain people he wants to spotlight, but his wife makes an appearance every once in a while. His kids made the sign for behind him. He stands up at the end of every episode, and he's always got on like swim trunks with his blazer to look like he's a news reporter or whatever. It's just feel good stuff. I highly encourage you to go do that.
Well, I just went and followed him, so
Hey,
I
good.
will do that. Oh,
Good.
they've got T-shirts. What?
Yes. It is blowing up. People are like loving it. He like went and surprised this COVID unit in one of the hospitals in Boston, I believe, and like took the nurses out in a bus um to the baseball stadium because baseball couldn't open up, and so it was the Red Sox stadium or field, and they got to throw out the ball, and like all the baseball players like sent in videos of them doing a standing ovation for the nurses and everything. Oh my gosh, it's just good stuff.
And he just started doing this during the quarantine, or was he doing this before?
Nope, this is purely quarantine driven.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's hilarious. Like some of them are super funny, and then there's something always touching about it. But his delivery is great, and they're really short to watch, so you can just watch it while you're scrolling on Facebook. Sometime, I think he puts out a new episode every Sunday evening. If I'm
Okay.
it's once a week basically. But it's been awesome. So I really want people to go watch it and support it because I kind of hope something like that stays up after the pandemic situation calms down, because it's just a good feeling. So glad you're following it. Now you can go watch it.
All right.
Okay, so here in this last little bit, let's talk about some of our favorite Bravo stuff that's going on right now. I don't know what you've been watching. We haven't discussed this, but I'm going to throw out a couple of things that are just a little extreme on Bravo right now. So 2 of the Real Housewives franchises that I watch have started back up. The Real Housewives of New York, the OGs, if you will, and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Do you watch either one of those?
I don't watch. I mean, I try not to watch New York. There's just something about them that irks me. But
Why? Who? That's the whole franchise irks me, but that's why I watch it.
yeah, I can't. I think it's Ramona, and so
Yes.
I honestly think that's why. And sometimes, oh, I forget the other one. The one who lives in the townhouse, and she's what's her name?
Dorinda.
Morgan. No, I love Dorinda.
Oh, okay, good. Sonia.
Sonia.
Yes,
I
Sonia Morgan.
Sometimes I like her. Sometimes I'm like, oh, Sonia.
Yeah,
And then the Countess is just completely over the top.
so much.
Um,
So they have
but
a new girl.
I enjoy a good Dorinda.
She's
Enjoy Dorinda.
kind of a mess this season too. Like I feel like she's a little overwhelmed in a bunch of things right now. But I mean, it's still Dorinda, of course. But
Yeah.
so they have a new girl because this is the first season without Bethany, and the new girl's name is Leah. And Leah, I don't know many things about her yet. They've only had like 2 episodes or something. She appears a little bit younger, maybe, and she's got like a child that is maybe in middle school or something, but she's not married. And she's a little spunkier in the way that I don't know, she's a little edgier, maybe. So she has a couple tattoos, right? And Sonia flat out told her, and so did Ramona, that they don't associate with people with tattoos.
What?
And I mean, they are, because clearly they're being paid to right now, but they've made such a big old deal about her tattoos that this girl, like, they already kind of had their first falling out, but now they just pick on her about it. But looks like we're in for a whole season of this one being the rowdy girl because she's got tattoos, according to them. So we'll see how the season goes without Bethany for the first time. What about Beverly Hills?
I'm on and off with that one. I know not a lot of people like what's her name? Lisa Vanderpump.
Mm-hmm.
I really did like well, I do like her. So I was kind of disappointed when she left the show. I thought she made some good I think she makes good TV.
She does
But
make good TV. She's just making
um
good TV on her own TV show now.
that's
Um,
right.
but yeah, so she's gone this season, and they
I
have a new one.
Yeah, and I saw the first episode, I think, with Denise Richards and
Oh, yeah, girl. There's hot drama this season. So,
yeah, I think that's why I'm watching it because I heard there was gonna be some. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it. Let's see.
yeah, and it's not a spoiler because we still don't know very much about it, but um
Yeah.
just to give the quick rundown, like towards the end of the first episode, they show like here's what's coming this season or whatever, right? And it talks about Denise quits the show like mid-season. And they're kind of telling her she can't do that because she's agreed to the season, and I guess she's maybe on a contract or something. And they're all talking about how she's had this secret to hide, and that when they approached her and the secret came out, she quit the show because she didn't want to talk about it. And for example, Lisa Rinna in an interview was like, I don't want to talk about everything that's going on in my life, but I signed a contract saying I would, so I have to. And
Yeah.
turns out like there's all this scandal because Denise Richards and Brandy Glanville had a relationship. And
That's what she didn't want to talk about?
that's, I mean, so far that's what they've alluded to, was that this secret started coming out, and then she quit the show because she didn't want to talk about it. And so Brandy has now come out saying that Denise actually sent her a cease and desist order to shut her mouth about their affair.
Oh.
Hey, I'm watching the season. I want to know.
Yeah. I'll watch it. Yeah, sounds
Uh,
juicy.
I know. Well, that's the whole point of watching them, right? Give me the dirt. I'm just not. I mean, I'm obviously we're going to find out more, but yeah, I mean, so clearly contracts are involved and people breaking rules and stuff about quitting shows, but and and I think obviously with some of those girls, like I don't know that if Denise Richards is like ashamed of it or something, but it went on for months and months, they said. And when somebody scooped him on it, she got spooked and started, you know, shutting her mouth and not saying anything to people. Well, then that just implied that there was something to hide. So I don't know. I guess maybe she's ashamed of it for some reason. I don't get it. But
Is her boyfriend super conservative or
I have
something?
no idea. I don't know.
Oh.
Like I mean, I guess it's not because from what it sounds like, it's
I
maybe
mean, she
not.
was married to Charlie Sheen. So I mean, how much worse can it
Exactly.
get?
I judge you more for that. But I don't know if it's because it was two women that she's ashamed of, or it was because she was actually, she is in a relationship, therefore this was cheating, right?
Oh, yeah, I could see that because I was gonna say I mean, it was a long, long time ago when she was much younger, and I know,
Right.
it's early acting days, but she was in Wild Things.
Yeah.
So, it's not like people would be shocked.
Right. I don't know. And it's such, I don't know. So I'm anxious to find out what goes on. So consider that to be a topic ongoing for the rest of our episodes coming up. Speaking of Bravo still, I'm watching Below Deck Sailing Yacht, which is sort of the new venture of the Below Deck seasons. Have you ever watched Below Deck?
I I know I've seen the first episode, I may have seen 2 episodes, but
Yeah. Have you ever watched any of the Below Decks?
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
watch the one with Captain Lee and Captain Sandy all the time.
Oh yeah, because I love Captain Lee, by the way. Sailing yacht to me is very tame compared to the standard below deck, just the regular yachts. Um, but the reason I enjoy it is because I always think it's interesting to watch some of these people that come on as the guest and some of their demands and how they treat the service industry. And so from that, I am intrigued by a new show that's going to be coming on Bravo in early May called Camp Getaway. Have you heard about that?
I have.
Okay, I'm already drooling at that. One, I was a camp counselor when I was younger, and so I love that concept, right? But this show is about the camp employees of an adult getaway camp. I don't mean adult as in dirty. I mean adult as in just grown-ups, right?
Hmm.
So it's in the Berkshires. It's a like sleepaway camp. They have normal camp activities that you can enjoy as an adult, but it's basically a rich and famous one, if that makes sense. So we are already have that booked on my calendar to be on the lookout for Camp Getaway. Again, to really see what the upper echelon of people do when they're put in a camp situation. And you
Okay.
always hear some dirty gossip about camp counselors and what happens after hours.
I did see that someone gets in trouble, so I'm like, oh yeah, let's find out what that's about.
Absolutely. I do love a good story plot and twist and drama. So I expect nothing less from the people that bring you Summer House. I mean, good gracious. That show's a hot mess too. I think I've talked about it before, but like, I'm just embarrassed for some of these kids. I call them kids because that's how they act on this show. Do I continue to watch it? Absolutely. But um, I can't even believe that some of these people are like functioning adults. Anyway,
Yeah, I watch these shows and then realize that I would be the most boring person on TV ever
super
because
boring,
in a
super
reality
lame.
show, yeah, I'm like, I'm not doing that. My parents are watching. I'm not doing that. Like, I got to go back
Same,
home to a real job. Like, this is
same. Like that's what I don't understand. Do people not? I get it. Like if some people have left their actual jobs because now has become like their cash cow. But do you not have other people in your life that would be embarrassed to watch this?
right.
I don't know. Anywho, yeah, that's kind of the way I spend my evenings. I feel like during quarantine, we have done a lot of like Moose was saying, we've done a lot of yard work, we've done a lot of prepping around the house, doing different projects. We painted our bathroom last night, those type of things. And that's been really nice. But then when everybody goes to bed, Mama watches her stories and it gives me a little juice for our podcast and it keeps me happy during a lockdown. So, um, yeah, that's all I had. I just wanted to kind of do a quick touch base with you about some of these fun things that are happening during quarantine, ways that you can keep that smile on your face even when you can't go shopping.
And I'm good with that. I'm loving the not shopping. I'm realizing I did it way too much.
Absolutely. Life lessons we're learning from being on lockdown. Okay, well, let's wrap this up. We talked about how we encourage people to go watch SGN, Some Good News with John Krasinski online. As always, we give a shout out to all of our healthcare workers, first responders, restaurants that are doing to go orders, schools that are filling goodie bags for the needy and making sure that children have meals when they get home, all of that stuff. There's still good things happening during some pretty dark times. And for that, I'm grateful. But I'm really grateful for you, Jeanette. Thanks for taking the time to talk.
Absolutely. I look forward to this all the time.
Absolutely. Um, so yeah, hopefully the people that have been listening will also go check out all the other shows that we have on the Mesh. So we're a podcast network. We've got shows about something for everyone. There's boy shows, girl shows, movie lover shows, business shows, golf shows, all kinds of good stuff. So definitely go check out themesh.tv. That's the website. Let us know if you have any thoughts, ideas, shows that you like. ChickChat is on Instagram. We are always posting some fun memes and just things to give you a smile on your face. And we hope that you will join us next episode, which we will come back soon enough so that we give you a little entertainment while you are in your four walls. Jeanette, you take care.
I'll do that. You do the same.
Absolutely. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Moose, thanks for running the show and holding the fort down in our studio. We will catch you guys next time. Stay safe, everybody. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.